Hello RuneScape, HRuGamer here with the new video, and how is everyone doing? Unfortunately, Will doesn't have his microphone available, so he got me to do the dirty work by providing the voiceover. But never mind that. We had over 2,000 players vote on what they thought were the best and worst updates of 2017. By voting in the polls that you can find in the description, the players selected 5 updates on each list. As voted for by the community, here are the results for the 5 worst updates of 2017. Starting off at number 5, with 26.44% of the vote, Tumblr Fest. Released on the 9th of October, Tumblr Fest was a crater event popularized by previous lookalike seasonal events of the past. Some players were not happy with the copy-paste nature of these reskinned beach events, as well as having to constantly grind for rewards that could also be purchased with rune coins, giving it a pay-to-win aspect. Hence why this update didn't fall in favor with a fourth of the community, being voted the 5th worst update of the year. Number 4. With 26.96% of the vote, we find the not-so-different Spring Fair. The main contrast with the fair from Tumblr Fest being the build-up to the event, leading players to expect something grand and impressive, only to be hit with a reskinned event that incentivized spending rune coins. Promises of happy hours that wouldn't always occur didn't help, and even after some patches along with an extended in-game period that made the event fairer, it still wasn't enough to save it, giving it the spot as the 4th worst update of the year. Number 3. With 28.08% of the players voting for this update, we find 120 Slayer in the middle of this list. Announced at RuneFest in 2016 and finally released on June 5th together with the benefice update, 120 Slayer quickly became very controversial for a number of reasons, some of which pertain to the integrity of the skill, as well as players' expectations to the quality of Jagex's updates. Unfortunately, this extension to the skill didn't fall in favor with the player base. They felt it had too few mobs added to it, and the mobs that did get added didn't have the originality they deserved. Because of these issues, among others, some players would worry this would make it difficult for Jagex to suggest further skills be extended to 120 in the future. With this, 120 Slayer ended up as the 3rd worst update of the year. Number 2. With 33.7% of the vote, and we're not moving a single day in the timeline, we've got benefice. Released on June 5th, benefice was considered an expansion to RuneScape, being an entirely new city with impressive graphics. It was teased with great updates like several quests, a minigame, a new Slayer dungeon, a new boss, skilling locations, and a ton of other things to keep players busy all summer. And did it succeed in keeping players busy? Oh yes. But unfortunately for all the wrong reasons. benefice quickly got called out for being a huge grind, where players had to spend a tremendous amount of time collecting reputation for the various districts. Most of the quests released were also locked behind a reputation wall, meaning players would have to grind in the city for days in order to complete the content. Despite it being a mid-level hub, higher-level players felt it didn't bring in anything new that was worth playing. Some felt it failed to achieve its goal to bring in new players, and that Jagex had spent a ton of wasted development time on the update, which had caused all of their releases up to that point to have suffered. Though the city was graphically beautiful and created a ton of hype for the RuneScape summer of 2017, it wasn't enough for the community, giving it the spot as the 2nd worst update of the year. It's almost like hype isn't always a good thing. And finally, hitting the number 1 spot as the worst update of 2017, with 55.89% of the players voting this up, we find the RuneScape zombie game mode, Dimension of the Damned. Released on the 16th of October, Dimension of the Damned was a competitive game mode set out to rival the popular Deadman mode from old school RuneScape, despite being very different in tone and setting. Zombie apocalypse and all, players felt the mode was poorly designed, having issues with balancing and marketing, as well as replay value. When the finale was delayed 2 times and still had major issues when it finally happened, resulting in a disaster discovered way too late to fix, it was already clear this game mode wasn't going to have a second run. Jagex tried to save themselves by awarding a limited pet to all competitors, but this wasn't enough to save the update from its ultimate demise, being voted the worst update of 2017. And that's it. These were the 5 worst updates of the year. You might think that's bad, but do remember that only 2 of these 5 updates are still in the game. If you want to see what it's like on the other side of the fence, click on the card in the corner or the link in the description to check out the 5 best updates of 2017. My name is HRuGamer, And I'll see you guys later. Bye.